students. Module 6 Tradition and Language. Lesson 7. The topic of today's lesson is Tradition and Language. Please open your students' books on page number 76. Let's start our lesson. Lesson aims: read a post about Kazakh wedding traditions, learn vocabulary for wedding, identify the difference in use between the present perfect and simple, present perfect, continuous, and past perfect. New vocabulary. Please look at this vocabulary. The first one, newlywed, married a few days or weeks ago. Veil, material which covers the face. Guest, people invited to someone, to something. Bride, the woman who is getting married. Ceremony, a formal occasion with a set of actions often to celebrate a change or achievement, for example, a wedding, a graduation. Envelope, something you put letters and cards in. Reception, the party after a wedding. Relative, a family member. Contest, a competition. Present, something you give someone else.
Track 2.28.
Let's read this
Siobhan.
text. Listen and read this
Hi
text.
everyone, my name's
put this
Siobhan
new
and I'm from
vocabulary
Dublin, Ireland. My family and I
gaps.
have been living in
Fill
Kazakhstan
in
for
gaps
6
with
months
the new
now.
vocabulary.
My dad works for an international company in Aktobe. We've made a lot of friends here already, and one of them invited us to her wedding, which is going to be this Sunday. I'm really excited, but I'm also a bit confused. I've been reading about Kazakh wedding traditions, and I found out the ceremony is very different from the one in Ireland. And it seems there are several parties. Can you tell me more about the traditions and the different parties?
Quinish.
When my eldest sister got married last month, we had a big party. I'd never been to a wedding before, and I was really looking forward to it. I wasn't disappointed. It was a traditional wedding, so the bride wore a white dress, a veil, and a special hat called sargilye, which she'd made herself. My favourite part of the wedding was kisuzutu, the goodbye party for the bride. Have you got an invitation for the bride's party, or are you only going to the main wedding?
Zuhra.
The wedding usually starts around noon, when the bride arrives in the groom's house and meets his relatives. There's a song contest, in which the guests sing the folk song Jar. The most important ceremony is called Nikekiu, and it only takes about half an hour. It's a religious ceremony for Muslim couples. Later, they go to the registry office for another ceremony. After that, the newlyweds often go on a tour of the city's sights and pose for photos. This is followed by a wedding reception for family and friends.
Aysulu.
I've got a big family, and I've been to more than 10 weddings. The first one was when I was only 5. There are always a lot of guests, sometimes more than 600. And one thing I find strange is that no one ever arrives on time. If the wedding invitation says 5 o'clock, you shouldn't go before 6 because you'll be the only person there. All guests must bring presents. If you aren't sure what to buy, you can just put some money in an envelope.
Okay, so have you checked your vocabulary were your vocabulary correct? So, if you need, please listen again and check. Now, read in exercise number 2. You should read and listen to the text and then complete the sentence with the names of the people. So please do this exercise on your copybooks. In exercise 3, you should look at the verbs in blue in sentences 1 and 3. What tenses are these? When do we use them? Please write the tenses near these sentences. For example, the first sentence, we've been living in Kazakhstan for 6 months. Please look at the verbs in blue. We've been living. What tense is it? Please write down. Next sentence, I've been to more than 10 weddings. Look at the verb in blue here. I've been. What tense is it? Please write down. The bride wore a hat which she'd made herself. She had made. What tense is it? Please write down. Exercise 4. Read the pairs of sentences and explain the difference in meaning. You should read each sentence. Also, you can write them down on your copybook and write the tense of these sentences near each sentence. For example, he's written a book. This is completed action, yes. Present perfect. He's been writing a book. It is present perfect continuous tense. So, please, for another sentences, write down the correct tenses. Work in pairs, exercise 5. What are the Kazakh wedding traditions do you know? Describe them to your partner. In exercise 5, you should write about one Kazakh wedding tradition and then you can read them out in the class. Homework. Workbook, page 52, exercises 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, in exercise 1, you should complete the sentences with the words in the box. In exercise 2, you should write sentences and questions using the present perfect tense. In exercise 3, you should match the sentence halves. In exercise 4, you should complete the sentences with the present perfect form of the verbs in brackets and for or since. So this is the end of our lesson. Goodbye, have a nice day.